Hey guys, what's up? It's me again, and this is my second Lego review. As I said in my previous one, I went out to buy the Black Panther sets, but I couldn't find them, so I decided to buy Star Wars sets instead. I bought two of them because I have this little rule for myself, and that's if I went into a toy store to buy Legos, and I come out of it with less than 1,000 shekels spent, I have done something wrong that day. So I usually come out of these toy stores with like 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 sets, which cost about 300, 400, 500 shekels a piece. Sometimes I even go upwards of 2,000 shekels in one shopping spree. So this next one I bought is it's the BB-8 droid. It's for those of you who have been watching the new string of Star Wars movies. BB-8 is actually one of the first droids we introduced to this new Disney Star Wars line of films. He's appeared in 2 movies so far, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. And I gotta say, he's my favorite droid out of the new movies that have been coming out. It's not my favorite new Star Wars droid overall. That's debatable. I still think R2 and 3PO are a little bit better. I love Chopper. I love K2SO. I love HK-47. I love the B1 battle droids. Yes, I'm a prequelist. I gotta say it like I feel it. I love a bunch of droids, but this is actually one of my favorite droids. He's my favorite one of the new movies, at least. So this is basically like a UCS Lego set. If you don't know what a UCS is, it's Ultimate Collector Series. This one, I don't think is a UCS set, but it feels like one. And I'll get to why in just a few minutes. So, without further ado, let's get into this set. Wow! Did you see how fast I built that? Yeah, I did. Now, yes, it really is that small. I'm sorry. Looking at this box, actually, it doesn't be a bit bigger, but it's not. It's this little compact size. It's a bit disappointing, but hey, it still is a pretty awesome build. It was a bit tedious. One of the main reasons why I don't buy the UCS sets, again, this is not a UCS, even though it felt like a UCS set, but it's not. The reason I don't buy UCS sets a lot is because, well, one, they're incredibly expensive. They cost in the hundreds of dollars, not shekels, dollars. So keep that in mind. But also they employ a lot of Technic pieces. Now, Technic Lego pieces it's a theme of Legos that's been around for a few years, and it's mostly like, instead of the traditional Lego bricks and Lego shapes, it's a bunch of connectors and tubes and things, and it's kind of hard to work with. It's definitely hard to build with. And it requires you to really think and concentrate a lot when you're building it. I just find it a bit annoying, really. If you like Technic pieces, that's great. That's good for you. I myself, as a as a builder, I hate these things. However, whenever you use Technic pieces in actual sets, they can be used to create incredible things, and you'll see what I'm talking about today when I talk about this set. As you see, this comes with this nice little stand here. I'm going to talk about the stand later, but it can also pretty much stand on its own. Now, in the movies, obviously, this little guy can spin around in any possible direction. This thing can't do that, unfortunately, and it's not that accurate, but there's, I believe, a Sphero BB-8 which you can buy. It's basically about this size, but it's a fully functional BB-8 that you can control through an app on your phone. It's amazing. It's like a remote control droid. You can tell where to go, which sounds to make, and you can even record videos of yourself, and just have it basically project through it on your screen. I'm not sure how it works. I was thinking about buying it to my mom for her birthday, but she hates BB-8. I don't know how you can hate this little bundle of joy, this little cute little cutie. But I guess my mom is dead inside. So if you're watching this, Mom, you could have had this in real life. So that's your problem. Now, it's, like I said, it's smaller than I thought. In the movies, I believe his body is about the size of a beach ball. I'm not sure about it. This thing is relatively small. Obviously, it's bigger than a tennis ball. It's smaller than a bowling ball. I'd say it's an average size. It's definitely smaller than it's a bit smaller than a volleyball. I'm not really sure how to give you a proper estimate of this size, but the best way I can demonstrate it is just comparing it to my head, which is the closest thing I have for a reference right now. I don't play ball, obviously. Now, this thing is surprisingly heavy. I mean, it's not like unliftable. I can pretty much pick it up no problem. But you look at this thing and you don't think it's that heavy, but it is. It's got a lot of stuff on the inside. I really don't want to pull this thing apart. Well, let me just try to show you. Unfortunately, I have to get up now to give you a better look at this thing. I'm going to take out the back end of this guy. Oops. Now, here's what I'm talking about. A lot of Technic pieces. There's these things, this card right over here, these connectors, and you really can't see it on the inside, but because it's so dark in there. But by the way, in case you haven't noticed, it's a lot more colorful than just white and orange. That's only what you see on the inside. There's a ton of colors inside. There's blue, green, red, yellow. There's all kinds of colors. And basically designed so it's designed in a way so you know. That's obviously it's a sphere. It's basically designed so you can see which plate goes which side. So the yellow plates go here, the blue plates go there. You don't see the blue pieces because they're on the inside, but this is basically to help you while you're building. So let's just put this back here. Oh boy, I was afraid this would happen. All the pieces just got wildly out of control. Ah, wonderful. Now, one of the features I really liked about this set is that his head can basically go backwards and forward, just like it does in the movies. In the movies, of course, it basically goes all over his body because it's magnetized. But since they can't really replicate it in Lego, and his antenna fell, which is nice. It's exactly what happened in The Force Awakens, if you remember correctly. And just pick it up. Also in The Force Awakens, it kind of bends, which fortunately can't happen with this antenna. Now, as I said, it goes backwards and forwards. And basically, it can also spin a full 360 degrees. Also, furthermore, if you turn this side of it, that's what turns his head around. Now, there's a bit of a nitpick I'm going to point out on this turning thing, which is obviously when you turn it clockwise, it spins the head counterclockwise, and when you turn it counterclockwise, it spins the head clockwise. Now, a bit of an annoying thing I found about this thing is that when you spin it, when you turn it to a certain direction, it automatically moves the head from the front to the back and backwards, while spinning it in the full 60 degrees. Which is kind of annoying to say you just want to spin it one way without having to have the whole head just move. But basically you can, so you just have to put it either in the front or the back and just spin it. Again, it's a minor nitpick. I love it. This is cool and all. It's a very cool playability feature. It's nice. It finally gives a reason for all the Technic pieces that are inside it, but it's a bit annoying. Now, this thing's also cool. It's another dial that you can turn, and to show you what it really does, I'm gonna. Yeah, now you can see it. I'm gonna turn it forward and see what happens. See? It's that moment in the movie when he does the thumbs up with a lighter. I can't really see it from this angle. You see? It's a lighter. Just put it back and do it again. Obviously, in the movie, it does it a lot faster, but I'm just really careful not to break it, so I'm slowing it down a bit. But it's nice. I mean, it's my favorite thing that this little guy did in the movies so far, where John Boyega's character Finn just goes thumbs up and he just turns on the light. So I thought it was very nice. Of course, this flap opens up. You can see this. He's got this nice little antenna, which fell off obviously, and this other smaller antenna. I love Lego's little attention to detail, like even small stuff like the antennas. The way I love Lego because of the way they portray small details with creativity methods. He's got this eyepiece. It kind of moves a bit, not too much, and this little light over here, which moves a little bit, but not too much, which is obviously some detail for his face, and it makes it recognizable. It lets you know that right away that this is BB-8. There's this little bit of detailing on the bottom here. I mean, you could say, why am I showing you the bottom? Because you don't ever look really to see the bottom. The thing is, in the movies you do, because he's spinning all around, so you basically see all sides of it. So, that's it for Droid. Now, the reason why I consider this to be a sort of mini version of a UCS is because UCS sets, Ultimate Collector Series, they usually come with this nice little stand right over here, that you can put, because UCS sets are massive, like they're usually this big. That's about the smaller stuff. It can be even this big. They're huge and heavy. So they come with these nice stands for you to put them on, so they don't you don't have to tediously find a place to put them. And they also come with this nice little plaque, which gives you a little image of the thing you just built and some details of it. They also come with a mini version of the build, which is exactly the case for this thing. Yeah. Here's a miniature version of the BB-8, the Lego version of it. It's cute. Oh, yeah. I also have another version of this one from another set. I believe I have 3, but I'm not so sure. Let me just put it on the side here. Let me just give you a nice look at this stand. If you remove this plaque, it basically kind of looks like a weird cross, you know? The power of Christ compels thee! I'm terrible at this. I do it by the way. Keep on doing that. I wouldn't have it. So, it's a nice good look at this plaque. Now, if you're one of those guys that want me to go through all the details, let me just tell you what it says. It's got this little logo of Star Wars over here. Obviously, BB-8. It says BB-8 right here, and underneath it, it's got some details on the build itself and the actual droid. It says here, model BB unit astromech droid, affiliation the Resistance, primary function navigation and repair, height 0.67 meters. I think that's 67 centimeters. I'm not sure. Equipment: holographic projector, welding torch, and arc welder. Primary sensor color red. I don't see any red on this thing, aside from a few minor details. But if it says so, it says so. There's nothing I can do about it. Of course, they made this plaque in a way that. Hang on. I didn't put this back on, right? There we go. They made this plaque in a way that you can fold it backwards and forwards a bit. But as you can see, it breaks pretty easily, so you're best just to leave it alone. Let's move on and talk about the box. It's a very decent sized box. It's different than the regular boxes because they're mostly rectangular. This one is a complete square. First of all, take a good look at this graphic. It says 10 to 16, which is way beyond my age. I'm 24, as I mentioned in previous videos. But I mean, Legos are ageless, right? You can never be too old to build Legos, unless it's Lego Junior, which is something completely different. But I still enjoy them, no matter what age I'm in. I actually started building Legos when I was in the army, so never too late or too early to start. You see, it says here BB-8. I forgot to mention the number of this set. Total oopsie on my part. The set number is 75187. Obviously, as opposed to the previous set I've shown you, it's got a different graphic over here. It's from The Last Jedi. I believe this means that it's from the Lego 2017 winter lineup. Lego has 2 lineups every year: winter lineup and a summer lineup. This is from the winter lineup of 2017, because the winter lineup, that's when they changed the graphics to from the previous one, from the Rogue One stuff, to this thing. So right over here you've got the mini BB-8 sporting the actual size reference. I almost talked about this. It's It's like a briefcase thing. It can just. Oh no, wait. Oh no, it is. Silly me. You can fold it up in a way that it holds the box closed. Obviously, you get a much smaller picture of the box. Let's close it up. Nothing exciting over here. Again, I mentioned I'm not taking these stickers off because they ruin the box art. There's this nice little graphic of a close-up of this with the BB-8. There's another one of these to keep the box closed. They put one on each side, but I'm not going to use that one because I want to hide this lovely graphic right here. And finally, you have the box, the back of the box with all the features I just showed you. Yeah, there's this. You can see it with the lighter open. You can see this feature that shows you that when you turn this dial around, it moves the head around. There's this, when you move this dial, it pulls up the, it pulls up the lighter, and that's the flap. And unfortunately, my one got a bit busted up over here. It was like that when I bought it, I'm sorry. I guess it kind of, that's what happened when they shipped it. That bumped, and then that's when nobody bought it until I got it. Well, I wasn't going to let this thing slow me down. So, unfortunately, that bumped here, but you can see this graphic of BB-8 on his stand. Now, open this up. That's the instruction manual. Again, just like the box, instead of just rectangular shape, it's a square, which I think is nice. It's kind of consistent with the box. It's also relatively sized, just like the other one. It basically shows you all the steps that are building it. Surprisingly enough, it's actually longer than the other set I talked about. It's got 161 pages. You probably wouldn't figure that because the set is actually so small, but like I said, there's a ton of technical stuff, as you can see right here. And technical pieces take a lot of thinking into consideration. That's why it's so long. The pages. I should go all the way here. There's this nice little checklist. The thing about Star Wars is that they often give you a checklist for the characters and the sets. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, as opposed to this is actually the complete opposite of the other review I did, whereas in that review I had all the sets minus 2. In this one I had only 2 of these sets. There's this there's this ship, which, spoilers if you didn't see The Last Jedi, there's this ship where Finn and Rose used to escape, to go to Canto Bight. There's this sort of attack tower, a first order attack tower, which wasn't in the movie. I don't know where that idea came from, but I mean, it's here, so it's okay, I guess. There's this thing, Kylo Ren's TIE silencer. I have this one. My first set I bought from this lineup. and I'm going to review it eventually once I get to it. Obviously, there's this thing, the BB-8. There's this ATACT. That's what it's called. No, wait a second. No, ATMC6. That's what it is. ATMC6. All-Terrain Mega Caliber 6. Yes, that's the name of it. It's kind of like the old AT-ATs, the AT-ATs, All-Terrain Armored Transport from the original trilogy, from which was introduced in The Empire Strikes Back. So these are a little more gorilla shapes. You can see it on the legs right here. They're mainly used for climbing, even though they did absolutely zero climbing in the movie. But maybe they'll do it in the sequel, I don't know. I also don't have this one. I mean, you can tell it's a pretty gigantic set. And I haven't had I don't even have the funds for that. And also, it hasn't even appeared in any of the stores I went to. So there's this thing. I haven't seen this one in any store, but it's nice. It's the ships from the beginning of the movie, The Last Jedi. They're kind of a B-Wing inspired, which I thought was nice. But I haven't seen in any stores as of this moment, so I haven't bought them. And there's this thing, First Order Star Destroyer. It's different from the Imperial Star Destroyers, because the Imperial Star Destroyers have this little tower on the top. And I'm sure there's some other smaller differences, and I haven't noticed yet. But this thing is massive. It's huge. Maybe I'll buy it one day, but even if I do buy it, I will honestly have no place to put it, because it's so big. I might even need to buy a second house just to put my stuff in it. Now, moving on to this list of the minifigures. Obviously, there's the big three, Rey, Finn, and Poe. Now, in this, I'm trying to find these characters in these sets, and I don't see them. But you have this character, Evelyn Holdo, from the movie, played by Laura Dern. You have this girl, Rose Tico, played by Kelly Marie Tran. Obviously, you've got BB-8. There's John Boyega as Finn, FN2187. There's this guy, a random First Order trooper. I have no idea how these guys see with these ridiculous helmets, but hey, whatever. Obviously, there's General Armitage House, played by Donald Gleason. There's this nice flame trooper, really nice build for a flamethrower. I don't think this character is of any significance. Basically, an resistance trooper. I believe this guy. No, that's. Oh no, wait. Yeah, that's Poe Dameron. You can tell it's Poe because of the helmet, the golden helmet. There's these two pilots. I believe one of them is Paige, Rose's sister, who dies in the movie. Spoiler. They look nice. And there's Poe Dameron again. I have no idea why they put him twice, unless I'm mistaken, but it's not actually Poe. That might be Snap, although Snap has a beard, so I don't know. I'm making myself sound like an idiot again. I'm sorry. And there's obviously Kylo Ren without his helmet, which he broke in the beginning of the movie. Obviously, there's a Stormtrooper, which basically shows up in practically every set. He shows up in 3 sets just in this lineup. So there's BB-9M, I think. Basically, the First Order version of the BB unit. There's a TIE Fighter pilot. There's Snoke, Supreme Leader Snoke, the Supreme Leader of the First Order in his golden robe thing. There's this guy with the weird helmet. There's a first order officer. These two first order stormtroopers. I believe this was actually an executioner, because he has extra black details on his helmet. And there's this guy. I believe it's a pilot because of the gray pants. I'm not sure. Obviously, you can't have a new Star Wars: The Last Jedi lineup without having Rey in it. This is actually a new version of Rey. He's got new hair, which is nice. He's got Poe Dameron. He actually appears twice. Possibly, no, that's not Poe. He doesn't have a beard. I just noticed that. I can't believe I just noticed that. And there's Poe. This is Snap. Kevin Snap Wexley from the Aftermath novels and the new Star Wars movies. This is basically all the characters, huh? Moving on. Now stop. Lego Star Wars usually likes to do these kind of things where they have this action shot with some of the sets, and they actually give you the set numbers. Now this is actually a scene from the beginning of the movie where they use these polymers, these resistance polymers, to blow up the main Star Destroyer. I forget the name of the Star Destroyer. Very professional movie, but I guess I just had to prove to show that I'm human. And it's nice. Also, like I said, it's got the numbers right in here. It's a nice little graphic of Rey using the Force to build these bombers. You get Chewie in here, and you get the pilot, which we talked about earlier. Poe, this guy with the golden helmet, and still kind of clear name to. The Mega Caliber 6, Silencer, TIE Fighters, and the Star Destroyer. Oh, and by the way, this Chewie and this pilot are buildable figures, which I mentioned in my previous video that I hate these. But I still thought I should mention. And of course, the piece count. All the pieces that you used during the movie. And this picture again. So this is my review on the BB-8. I love this set. I would recommend it to people, but only if you're one of those people that actually like building with a lot of Lego Technic pieces, because this thing has a lot of it. As I mentioned, it's, I also like I love its weight, because I love it when Lego sets are surprisingly heavier than they look. It really shows you that there's a lot of pieces inside it. It really shows you that you worked hard to build this thing. So, I love this set. I recommend you buy it. And I hope you enjoy this little review. Hurry up! That's goodbye for BB-8 language. Goodbye, everybody.